would be imperative, I would think, though, that some pastors, if they're not looking at the trends and the numbers are down, at least with American Christianity post-COVID. I was talking with a guy who's a placement of pastors the other day. He places pastors, and he said, I'm talking to people and they're still citing their numbers from pre-COVID. He goes, it's 2 years later. He goes, those people are gone. And we're seeing a cultural shift right now between paradigms, but God is still bringing the nations, and he's bringing a lot of the people around us. Why does the church have, and let me put it this way, why does the white Western evangelical church, and I'm sure there's other pockets too, and I'm just going to cite the one that I come from right now, have such a hard time seeing God bringing in these different groups and seeing him working and partnering together for the furtherance of the gospel? What, and I'm sure there's not just one factor, but what do you see is keeping these groups apart from one another?
One is, I think, immigrant Christianity, we all go into our respective streams and we don't merge. We continue to flow as independent streams.
Mm-hmm.
But the second, third generation might jump out of the stream and then come to the mainstream, but they don't get recognized because they are a Chinese, a Korean, or a Latino. So they don't get recognized or their culture celebrated, or they want them to whitewash them and act like the mainstream Christian, because this is how we do church and Christianity. So that becomes the normative understanding of the Christian faith, and there is less room for variety and celebrate the diversity that is in the global church. And, I think it was John Stott who said, we have to become global Christians because our God is a global God. And, so there was another African theologian who said, if I belong to Christ, I belong to everyone who belongs to Christ. I can never understand Christian faith all by myself. I need Christians who does not look like me, and they will enrich my understanding of the Christian faith and the global church. Because we are at a time in the history of the church where there is a Christian in every country of the world, every geopolitical entity of the world, there are church. It must. Sunday morning, as I stand in the church, sing a song or a preach or give your tithes or whatever you do, your offering and fellowship and small groups or whatever your activities or Sunday school is, you must recognize it is not that these 200 people who agree doctrinally and do everything together, the four walls of your church. There are men and women in every country of the world, all over the world. This Sunday, they have worshiped. My sense of solidarity with the global family of God. And so we had to globalize our faith. Our narrow, parochial, nationalized or ethnicized understanding of faith, keeps us so poor. And I think it was last week I was listening to N.T. Wright, great Bishop N.T. Wright from an Anglican bishop. He was saying division of the church along the lines of nationality, language, ethnicity, and cultural lines have effectively blunted the witness of the church in the world. So we have nationalized our church, which is the German church, English church, Irish church, whatever that is. In America, we got racialized it. Black church, white church, brown church. We kind of ethnicized and racialized our Christian faith because our biases, our lack of understanding of the global church, the gospel, where there is no black or white, no Jew or Gentile, no man or woman. Understanding the global church is the imperative for the American church at the crossroads of this kind of post-racialized, the tension with the political and race issues have become so galvanized. And we need to understand that our faith is universal. Our faith is a global faith because our God is a global God. He has children, that is my brothers and sisters, of brown and yellow and every color and every stream all over the world. So more we can help our people to globalize their faith, understanding the global family of the faith, they will have a richer experience of the Christian faith.
Taking
all these people who are coming from around the world is helping American church to become global.
Yes, totally agree.
More global the American church is, more globally relevant we will be, and more globally connected we will be. they also bring us connection to those parts of the world where there is a revival breaking out.
Yes.
Like in China.
Yes.
If you know
Yes.
Chinese Christians, the fastest growth of Christianity right now is happening in China. So if you know the church and underground church in China, that will set you on fire to understand your own faith. Yes.
Have you seen this? She's
Yes.
Hannah Nation. Hannah Nation is coming on the show to talk about this. You're seeing the church explode around the world, but you're not seeing it in the United States. And I mentioned I think that the Western church, the white evangelical Western church, and you could say it into the different pockets that's racialized, by staying in our own little pockets, we find comfort, but we lose a greater global conviction, and our testimony, I think, suffers. I've talked about this, and I'm writing this right now. We have the Great Commission, right? To go make disciples of all nations. We all know the Great Commission. The Great Commandment, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. But then there's the Great Community. And I think that's the one that we've been missing. John 17, I pray they may be one as we are one, so the world may know. This unity that we have to work through shows the reality of our heart and our conviction. And without that, without being together, without working through these issues, I think our vision of God dissipates. I think we can become comfortable. I think we give in to the kind of carbon monoxide of our culture. It slowly lulls us to a spiritual sleep. But when I'm with someone else, working out my differences, it's work. It's work to understand, to listen, to be hospitable, to open up our home, to hear stories. But it's so worth the price. I just wish that so many in the church would be able to see this, what you're talking about.
It enriches my experience. It enriches my understanding, broadens my outlook.
Yes.
And gives me great sense of compassion, my understanding and empathy. At the same time, they are bringing and helping me to see my faith in a whole different level. And I think America church will be in a better place more they know immigrants around the world.